Hello, good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are joining me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's video is going to be a yoga flow to help with the immune system. It's like an immune boosting flow, which I thought was perfect because since it's getting colder, we're going to be entering winter pretty soon. So I thought this was a great idea. I normally don't use props just because I typically just forget to bring them out here. But what I will recommend if you have something is a strap and a bolster. We won't use them more. The strap we could maybe use for sure for one pose, and then possibly for another pose if you can't, because we're gonna do Gomukasan. So if you have if you need help with that, then a strap would be perfect for that. And then for the bolster, it's going to be just like for the final pose before we go into Shavasana. Which you would just put like the bolster or a pillow or like maybe like a rolled up towel underneath your hips. So anything that you sound like you could have for that, great. If not, that is perfectly okay too. I do not have that because that one is going to be if you're inside and you're close to a wall, so you could have your legs up against the wall. I am outside. I do not have anywhere where I could do that, so I'm just going to do a regular like waterfall pose. So yeah, so props would be strap and bolster. But yeah, okay. And when you're ready, go ahead and meet me laying down. You can go ahead and have your props off to the side. Actually, keep your strap pretty close to you because we're gonna need it in this little sequence that we're gonna do. Okay, and so just start off. Just settle in here. Notice how your body is feeling, whether you just woke up or you've been out and about all day. Just use this moment to really settle into your body. Notice the breath, notice any sensation that is going on. How are you feeling right now? We're going to take 3 deep inhales and exhales, just to bring that awareness to the breath. When you're ready, inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Your exhales can be as soft or as loud as you want them to be. Use this as a time for a release, so we can get into this yoga practice. Last inhale. Hold at the top. And exhale. And let go of the control of your breath and just let it settle. And when you're ready, we're going to get into Supta Parangasana. So keep your left leg extended In your right leg, you can bring your knee to your chest and then extend up, like extend up. And then if you have the flexibility, for me, I kind of not just woke up, but it's pretty early in the morning for me. I haven't stretched a lot, so I'm tighter, like in my hamstrings. But you could, if you have the flexibility, if your body's a little warm, you can grab your 2-piece fingers, your index and your middle finger, and grab your big toe, and just hold on to it. I am doing it, but I'm keeping my knee bent. If you can have your leg fully straight, that is great. If you can't, that is great too. Okay, just do whatever feels good in your body. Make sure both hips are on, like both sides of your hips are on the mat. Like that one isn't lifting more than the other, that your hips are square. Okay, just breathe. You also do not have to grab your toe. Like you don't have to grab it. You can, if you just want to have your leg straight up and not grabbing it, that is fine too. A few more breaths here. Inhale, exhale, the leg down and switch sides. Inhale, knee to chest, and then extend that leg. You could even just hold your leg up with your hands clasped behind your thigh. That is perfectly fine. You do what feels good in your body. You could even do some dynamic stretching, moving in between like a bent knee and a straighter knee. I can't fully straighten my knee, but that is perfectly okay. Just to kind of warm up that muscle a little bit more. Remember, you should never be in pain. A few more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, leg down. And go ahead and bring your knees up into like a tabletop. And we're going to do Supta Parangasana, like B. So the one that we just did was A. The one that we're going to do is B, which is like a supine twist. So you're just going to have both knees up, and then you're going to slowly bring them down to the other side with your arms in a like bent position, I guess. So you could have them in T, but I like to always have mine bent, like so it's a right angle. And then you're going to face the opposite side. So for me, I have my knees fallen over to the right side, so I'm going to look over to the left. And just settle in here for a few breaths. Make sure your shoulders are both on the ground. That one is not lifting. If one is lifting, you could even Maybe have a block or use that bolster underneath your legs if you need assistance. If putting your knees all the way to the floor is causing you to lift up a shoulder, you could do that as a modification. Okay, inhale. Exhale. And on the next inhale, bring the knees back up. And to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. And on your next inhale, bring your knees back up. And extend the legs once again. And we're going to go into Supta Parangasana C. So this is where you would use the strap. Unless I use the strap as a modification. If you can get into this pose without a strap, by all means. We're going to keep our left leg extended first. We're going to put the strap at you can have it at the ball of your foot, and just have it where your elbow is on the floor. And so this one, we're going to extend. We're going to let the leg fall over to the right side, but please make sure that your left hip is still on the ground. So you don't want it to be where it's like you put the right foot all over to the right side, but then your left hip is off the ground. You do not want that. Go as far as you can where your hip is where both hips are still on the mat. And if it's not far at all, then that's fine. That's where your body is. And if you're not using a strap, you can be grabbing your toe, like how we did in Supta Parangasana A. Yeah, I can't go very far with mine, but that's okay. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. And on your exhale, bring it in. And bring it down. And switch legs. Switching the strap over the left leg. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. When you're ready. Okay. And just letting it fall. And both sides might be different. I feel like I have a lot more range on this side than I did on the other side. And that is perfectly okay. That is normal. You could even try, I know it's kind of late now, but you could also try different hand positions on the strap, like higher up, lower. I like mine lower. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And on your next exhale, bring it in and down. And you could put that strap away. And now we're going to bring our knees to our chest and rock side to side just slightly. But then we're going to rock forwards and backwards a few times, if that is comfortable for you. If not, then you can just meet us in down dog. And when you're ready, getting into down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And we're just going to pedal out the feet. Getting those muscles, the body warm. And when you're ready, we're going to go into pigeon pose. So I'm going to have my right leg up and just open up my into tripod, or not tripod, down dog. Like just open up your knee in down dog. And then bring your knee down. And you can have the leg as parallel to the mat as you can. There are some people who could do pigeon pose like this, where it's like it's the knee to the foot is fully parallel to the edge, to the front edge of the mat. Maybe I can, but I like to just keep it as close to me. And so wherever you are is perfectly okay. Make sure that you're not too much on one hip or the other, that you're in the middle. And so when you're ready, you're just going to inhale and just fold into it. If you are not ready to fold into it, that is okay. You can just stay up. When you're ready, inhale up. And back down. Back into down dog. Okay, and when you're ready, inhale left leg up. knee bent, and then kind of in between the hands. Okay, and wherever you are, inhale, exhale. If it is in your practice, go ahead and go into sleeping pigeon. Again, making sure that both hips are even, they're square. If you feel tension, try not to, hold on to that tension. Breathe, send breath into that area so then it can relax. And so when you're ready, on your next inhale, come up. And we're just going to bring that back leg to the front. Both legs in front of us. And we're going to get into a fire log pose. Okay? So this one is fire log or ankle to knee, where we will have basically both legs will be like knee to foot. They will both be parallel to the edge of the front edge of the mat. And so if you need to see me, this is how we're going to be. It's kind of like Sukhasana or like half lotus. And then but please be careful. Like for me, I cannot close this gap between my knee and my bottom foot. But that is okay. Listen, everybody is the way that it is. And so you do not have to force it. Please do not force it. I don't want anyone to be in pain. But so being here, we're going to breathe. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Now this is a pretty intense pose. So please just be aware, be mindful of how your body feels. Again, try not to hold on to that tension. It may be so easy to be like, oh, like it hurts, or like not so much it hurts, but it's like you feel the sensation and it's pretty intense. But instead of being in that mindset of like, oh, this is really intense, just breathe, focus on your breath. Breathe into the area that is feeling a lot of sensation, and then eventually it will ease up, if that makes sense. So you can go as far forward as you want, or you could even, if this is enough sensation for you, just being straight up, that is perfectly okay. You just listen to your body. When you're ready, on your next inhale, come up. And we're going to switch sides. Okay. And so for me, the left leg is now on top. The right foot is now on top. The left foot is now on top of the right knee. And the left knee on top of the right foot. Okay, in case if you need to see it again. Here is the pose. This pose is actually a lot easier for me on this side. I can actually close this gap. So whatever your body, just accept your body. Just accept where it is. Okay, and so you're going to inhale and exhale, fold forward as far or as not far as you can. Okay, do not push yourself. Like I said, this is an intense stretch. I definitely feel it like on my sides. When you're ready, on your next inhale, come up. And just extend those legs. And if you need to like stretch them out, pat them down, go ahead and do whatever you need to do. We're going to go into Gomukhasana next, which is cow face pose. Okay, and so when you're ready, you're going to bend one leg underneath. So I'm going to bend my right leg first, where the knee is pointed basically directly in front. It is in the middle. And then if it is in your practice, if this one is a modification for you, would be instead of bending the right knee, the right knee, you would keep it extended and then just bend the left knee on top of the extended leg, so like this. If regular cow face pose is too much for you, and we're going to do cow face arms as well. Okay, so that's where, and this is where if you cannot touch your fingers, or if you cannot grab your fingers, that's where you would use a strap to just help with that. Okay, but you're just going to right arm up and you're going to bend, and now it's going to be at your back, and you're going to, so you could see what's going on. I'm going to turn. Okay, so arm up, back, and then the left arm is coming around the back, and you're just, the hands will be looking for each other. Okay, and you just want to make sure that you're not hunching over, you're not trying to, that you basically keep your right elbow up to the sky. Okay, and we will be here for a few breaths. Sorry that my back is to you. I'll switch. Okay, when you're ready, inhale, exhale, come out, release. If you need to shake out those legs again, do so. And we're going to do the other side. So for me, I'm going now, my left knee is going to be underneath my right knee. And now my left arm is going up and bending, and my right arm will be like down. Okay, you're just going to grab, and it is completely, again, it's completely normal if you do not have the same flexibility on the other side. That is perfectly normal. I am slightly less flexible on this side, but it is still there. So just listen to your body. If you need a strap on one and you don't need a strap on the other, that is perfectly normal as well. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale, release. Shake it out, do whatever you need to do. And we're going to meet in down dog. So however you can get there, just go straight into it. And you can either walk or hop up to the top of the mat and into a forward fold, Utkatasana. And halfway lift. And then forward fold. And we're actually going to get into a wide-legged forward fold. So inhale your way up. And now I will face you. Okay. And so now that you are in a wide-legged position, you're going to hinge from the hips. And you're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. You could have your legs as wide or as close as you want. I even like playing with headstand here. You do not have to. Okay. Okay. And then just kind of stretch out that body, whatever it needs to do. And you're going to bring your feet right underneath you into a normal forward fold. And inhale all the way up. And we're going to move to the back of the mat. We're going to face forward. And we're actually going to play. This is going to be your opportunity to get into whatever sort, I don't know if you can see me, any sort of headstand, handstand, what is it, tripod, like forearm balance. It is up to you, whatever you want to get into. I will get into a headstand. So just go ahead and play with what feels good for you. Okay, we're just gonna be here for a few moments just playing. You could even just practice getting, if those are not in your practice yet, but you want to work up to it, what you could do is, depending on the one that you want to do, so let's say you want to do like tripod, you could get into dolphin and then just kind of get on your tippy toes. Maybe you could jump a little bit. That one is not an easy one for me. I feel like my limbs are a little long for that one, but there's always that. Or getting into headstand, you could just work on getting your knees on your elbows and just kind of lifting one knee or one foot, then the other, just jumping, whatever you want to do. Handstand, that one I have not mastered yet, but you could just kick up and kind of get used to that. Okay, so those are a few options of things that you can do if those are not in your practice yet. Okay, so we'll just take a few more moments playing and practicing in these poses. And when you're ready, come down into child's pose. You can have knees closed or legs, or like knees open with toes touching, and just extend forward. Letting your body settle after what we just did. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to get into a downward dog again, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you're going to go into down dog. But just for a second, and then go ahead and walk your feet towards your hands into a forward fold. And we're just going to roll onto the back. And now we're going to get into the inversions. So just warm up. We're going to get into bridge pose. So bring your heels right to where the tips of your fingers can touch, and make sure your back is fully on the mat, fully on the floor, before you inhale up. Exhale down, but slowly, vertebra by vertebra. And we're going to do that again. Inhale up. And down. And then this time we're going to stay up. So inhale up. And on your next exhale, come down. And now we're going to get into plow. So I like to just move at the, like, as close to like the front of the mat, so then I can extend. And so plow is basically like shoulder stand, but we're going to extend, and you have to be really careful with your neck here. Make sure it is in a neutral position, that you're not If you feel any pain, please go ahead and like stop. You do not want to feel pain. This is one of the poses where I actually struggle with as well. So just be mindful of the sensations that your body is feeling. And then we're going to go into shoulder stand, which I like shoulder stand better than plow. But you're going to have your arms supporting your back, and then your legs straight up to the sky. And then you're just going to calm down. And so this is the part where if you have, like if you're inside and you're close to a wall and you have a bolster, you have a pillow, or you have something that you could put underneath your hips, you would put the prop underneath your hips, and then you would put your legs up against the wall and just hang out and chill there. But if you do not have that, you can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do waterfall pose, which is basically just the same thing, but without the prop and without the wall. You're just gonna put your legs up and just chill here. Inversions are just really good for your body because your body is not used to being in positions like this naturally. And so it just gives your body, I guess, an opportunity to experience like kind of different blood flow because of like the position that you are in, that your body's like not used to it. And I like to have my feet flexed in this position. And when you're ready, you can bring your knees to your chest. I'm just going to circle and do little circles with my knees before we get into Shavasana. Once you're in Shavasana, just feel your body. Are there any new sensations? How do you feel now? We're going to take 3 deep inhales and exhales like how we did at the start of the class, to allow our body to settle into this pose some more. When you're ready, Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Last one. And we're going to hold at the top. Exhale. And just let your breath be, let go of the control, and settle in. And if you would like to stay in Shavasana a little bit longer, go ahead and turn this video off now, or pause, as we are going to do Pranayama at the end. But bring awareness back to your body, moving, wiggling your fingers and your toes. And then slowly moving on to your favorite side. If there's a side that you normally do, go ahead and switch, just to do something a little bit different. Taking this moment to thank your body for all that it did today. And, being able to show patience and compassion to yourself, not just in the practice, but outside as well, is so important. You made it on the mat, and that is such a huge accomplishment in and of itself. You took this time for yourself, so show gratitude to yourself for that. When you're ready, you're going to inhale, come back up to seated. So we can get in a little pranayama. We're just going to do one. We're going to do the rapid, like the diaphragmatic breathing, where if you have not done a video with me before, you're just forcefully exhaling with your diaphragm, nose closed. And it looks like this. You should be able to see. The inhale comes naturally with the force of the exhale, so you don't have to focus on inhaling. And yeah, just be in a position that you will be comfortable in for a few moments. Okay. When you're ready, just settle in. Take a deep inhale. And when you're ready, just go ahead and start. Okay. Back to your normal breath. And let that settle. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes or keep them closed for this little last portion where we will just inhale, arms up and down. Inhale up, down. Inhale up. Hands in prayer above our crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root. And I like to have my hands back to the heart, or you could have them at your third eye, where we just bow. I bow to you. Thank you so much for coming, and bow to Mother Earth. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. I hope that you enjoyed it, that I see you again soon. You can do this practice as often as you want during the cold months or just year round. Honestly, it does not hurt to have your immune system boosted. So, yes, I will see you again very soon. Thank you. I love you.